video is not clickbait. So earlier this week, me and my homies, we climbed the Supreme Billboard in LA on Sunset Boulevard, and we put a banner up of our brand, Denied Approval, right over the box logo. And I'm gonna tell you guys the story. I hope I don't get sued for this video. I hope I don't have to go to jail. We didn't mean any harm, just kids having fun, repping Denied Approval. Yup. So about 2 weeks ago, I was on Instagram and I was scrolling, and I had saw one of my friends post a story of a Supreme billboard. And me living in LA and knowing a lot about Supreme and having a lot of friends that resell Supreme, I was really surprised this was the first time I was seeing it. So I went to his stories, I was watching them, and then I was like, that's crazy, that's real. I didn't know if it was like a filter or something like that. And it was a real billboard. My first thought was like, wow, Supreme put a billboard in LA? And my second thought was, damn, I'm surprised no one's fucked with it yet. And my third thought was, I should fuck with it. And you know, Supreme being Supreme, they can't really do anything without someone doing something. And by that I mean, when they had the Supreme sign out, and I think it was London or New York, someone ripped it off and sold it for like 60 bands or some crazy shit like that. I'm not a Supreme factist, so don't come at me crazy. But yeah, people do a lot of crazy shit. And so I figured this was just something that people would have done something to. And it was not. It was a perfectly big, beautiful red box logo. Hello, YouTube. Today's a beautiful Wednesday. What's the date? Wednesday, February the 26th. And I have an idea that could potentially change the future of my brand. Now, I hope I don't get arrested. I hope that I don't die from it. And I hope I don't get sued. And I hope that all the bad things that could possibly happen don't happen. But here's my idea. I want to put my logo on this Supreme sign. Somehow, some way. I don't know. I fucking saw it on Instagram and I was just like, holy shit. That would be the most legendary thing ever. A bunch of big pages will repost it. The shit will go crazy. So today, I'm going to try and make that happen. Now, hopefully this is not a waste of a video and I don't completely fail, but if this works, this should be fucking cool. So I had texted up a couple friends and I was like, hey, I have an idea. Tell me what you think. So they're like, all right, cool, what's up? I was like, what if I climbed up the Supreme billboard on Sunset, made a humongous Denied Approval banner, and put it up on the Supreme billboard? And a lot of friends were like, that's pretty cool, bro. Yeah, and it wasn't really the encouragement I needed. Being an adrenaline junkie, you kind of just need like one person to be like, yeah, do it. And then you're like, okay, man, I'll do it. And so for me, I just wanted that. So I called a couple more friends, one of my Supreme homies. And I was like, hey, bro, what do you think about me climbing the Supreme billboard and putting a banner up there? He was like, oh, that's genius. You gotta do it. Bro, you told me this now. I can't let you not do it. If you need help, I'll even help you. And there he was. Victory. That's all I needed. So from there, I started thinking, how can I make this happen? So later that night, I decided to actually go to where the billboard was off of Sunset and just kind of scope it out. Just see like, how big is this thing? How big would this banner that I want to make have to be? Am I even able to get up onto the ladder? Once I get up, how am I gonna get down? How many people do I need to really make this happen? It was a lot of logistics. So I got to the spot and I basically was walking and I was like counting how many steps it was from one side of the billboard all the way to the other. And it ended up being 30 steps, which was probably about 30 feet. So while I was there scoping it, I took a bunch of pictures so that I could Photoshop later that night how I wanted it to be. And I went through a couple drafts. And so then I figured, okay, well, if I want the banner to cover the majority of this billboard, it's probably gonna have to be at least 20 feet, right smack dab in the middle. That was the first obstacle. So I was thinking, how do I make a 20-foot banner without having to spend a bunch of money? And if I order it online, it's not gonna come within the next couple days. Because with billboards like that, it's either one, someone's gonna fuck with it before me, or two, it's gonna get taken down pretty soon and it's just like a limited time thing for a drop they had going. So I knew I had to work quick. My first thought was, let me go on nextdayflyers.com and try to, and this is not a paid ad, but you can sponsor me. I went on nextdayflyers.com and tried to see if I could get a 20-foot banner 5 feet wide by the next day without spending more than like $100, $200. I didn't really want to put too much money into this, and everything I saw was like $200, $300, $500. Fuck, how am I gonna make this happen? So that's when the resourceful creativeness came out of me. And if you guys didn't know this already, I'm a creative, I'm a videographer, photographer, I do graphics, I do all type of this cool shit. And so I was thinking, well, a photography backdrop is usually 15 feet long, and if I buy the skinny ones, not the really wide ones, it'll probably be the perfect size banner to put in between this billboard. I'm about to go try to see if I can find something to put my logo on. I was looking online at banners. Banners are kind of expensive. So I'm gonna try to go to the photography store and see if I can buy like a photo backdrop or something, photo paper, basically. So the first thing I did was I went to my local photography store and I wanted to see if I could find a red banner. It kind of had to match the color of the billboard for it to look the way I wanted. The first one, it was cool, but it wasn't that realistic. The second one, it didn't look that good because it was white. And then I think it was the third version that I was like, this is it. This is what I have to do. And so it's my logo, denied approval, the Supreme Billboard. Crazy, huh?
Didn't break your ass.
I know. Yeah, so I'm putting a YouTube video together of the whole thing of us like climbing the billboard and doing all that cool stuff.
Stick with it, bro. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do either. Years ago, I bought the store in '85.
This store?
Yeah, they told me what I couldn't do. I'm still here.
Exactly. Man, good shit, man.
When you put it on
Much
your mind,
respect, bro.
you can do it.
Exactly. Right. So at the photography store, they told me it was going to be about $45 to buy this banner, and it was the perfect size. And if you look on my ceiling, put the rest of it. So yeah, fun little fact. So I bought the banner, and then right next door was a hardware store. So I was like, okay. My original thought process was when I have the banner, I can have a projector project the denied approval logo. And denied approval is my brand. For anyone that doesn't know this, denied approval is my brand. We do hip hop videos, videos with rappers. We just did a vlog with A$AP Rocky. That's about to hit 1 million views, so check that out later if you want. And we also have a clothing brand, make a bunch of cool shit. I'll put up a couple pictures. Yeah, so you see the deal. So I wanted to put the name of my brand right across the box logo. In the streetwear game, you gotta do some crazy shit, and you gotta do some real shit to prove yourself that you're about the culture. You know what I mean? And what bigger figure in the culture than Supreme? Me being a little guy, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fuck with the biggest guy up here and say, what's up, man? And look at him right in his face, say, let's go. So that was kind of my thought process. I was thinking I could put a projector and project my logo onto the Supreme band and just trace it from there. It would be the right size and I'd have a perfect logo, but I couldn't find a projector in time. So we ended up doing it by hand. So after that, I went across the street to the hardware store and I bought a bucket of white paint, some paintbrushes, a couple of ropes, and some tape. So from there, I went back to my house and I called my buddy Renell and we got to work.
You.
What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm scared for you, buddy.
Don't be scared. This shit's gonna work, bro.
Man, you think you got the plan together though? Like,
I decided instead of the projector, I'm gonna do like a photography backdrop, and then I bought like paint and shit. So I figured we can probably just trace the logo onto it, and then.
you said photography backdrop?
Yeah.
Is that gonna work, dude?
Nah, cause it's not like the regular one. It's like the skinnier one. So it's only like 5 feet wide, but it's like fucking 15 feet long or something.
Shit, alright, you got this stuff together though?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm about to be on the way.
I got it, I'm ready. I'm just getting gas and then I'm pulling to the crib, so whenever you're ready.
Alright, word, I'm gonna just change right now. Send me your address.
Alright, bet. He's gonna kind of help me trace it. Like, he does graphic design and he's really good at like drawing and shit. Rather than the projector, I didn't want to have to buy a projector and I didn't know anyone to have one, so he's gonna help me like outline it and then I'm gonna paint it, I think, and then it should work. The thing is, if we fuck up, we only get one more shot because we can flip it over, if that makes sense, and like do it on the other side. But yeah, so we basically got 2 chances to get this right, or else we wasted our money. All right, Renell's here, so I'm about to throw down the keys. My boy Renell, my partner in crime for the day, you know?
Shit about be nuts, man.
It's about to be too crazy.
This nigga about to go to jail.
See? Shit like that, nigga. Shit like that.
Hey, man. I'll just cover my face.
So making this thing took about 3 solid hours, so I'm just kind of fast forward through this part. Basically painting the shit, and it is like 8 o'clock at night, and it should be fucking lit. Renell's a graphic designer, his work is fucking insane. So I just showed him the logo and he just freehand drew it. And he did a good job. I'd give it about a 78 out of 100. I don't have a marker, but 78. All right, so today we're gonna go fuck with the Supreme sign, denied approval all day. So then from there, I had to figure out how was I gonna make this banner stay on the billboard. So like I said, the night before I went, I saw that you could kind of get in between the two billboards. So here was a Supreme billboard and here was a billboard for like a movie or something. So when you get on the platform, you can actually go in between the billboards, climb up a little ladder, and then you have access to right in between them. So no one can see you get ready. And so I figured maybe if I tie the banner to each side of the billboard, then when we're back there, we can kind of just throw it over. Then my problem was, how am I gonna make this rope go through the paper banner and tie it to the billboard without it ripping? So as you know, a piece of paper will rip at any point inside if there's no structure. So I figured if I get some tape, maybe I can turn that paper structure into something a little stronger. So by folding the tape over both sides of the banner, it can no longer rip. So basically on the banner, we taped each side, and then after that, I poked a hole through the banner, like so, and then through the paper, tied a rope through it so that it could hang. So this was basically our setup. Not headphones in this, but you get what I mean. It was basically like this. And it's pretty sturdy. If you try to pull it, it's gonna take a lot for it to rip. My prototype was okay. I still had a little work to do, but for the most part it was good. So we finished painting it, we finished drawing it, we applied the tape, tied our rope, and we lifted it up on each end to make sure that it would stay, and it did the test. So from there, my last problem I was a little worried about was maybe the bottom might flip up because of the wind, you know what I mean? Because if it's on a billboard like this, who knows? Maybe this will flip up and it'll look crazy the whole time. So I decided to add 2 little weights on each end of the billboard to kind of hold these edges down, but tie these edges off tight, and it should stay up there. So now the most important question of all, how are we gonna get up there? So let's pretend this is our billboard up here. At the base of the billboard, there's a long pipe, and about 12 feet up the pipe, there's a ladder. So once you get up to here, you can climb up the ladder and access the billboard. My main obstacle was, how am I gonna get myself 12 feet off the ground without bringing my own ladder, without making anything that's noticeable? I'm about 6'2", so I figured if I can get myself 6 feet off the ground, I'll be able to reach 6 feet up, grab the ladder, and then from there be able to climb myself up and do whatever I have to do. When we were scoping it out, I noticed some pallets next to a dumpster. So what I did was I stacked 2 pallets, one by one. Let's say this is our pallet, boom. So that was one pallet, and then I stacked the other one right on top of it, and then I was able to stand right there. So from there, I was able to grab the first ladder, pull myself up, and then climb up. But wait, that was not the only challenge. And just to my luck, there happened to be a telephone wire in the middle of the ladder, going exactly like this. I climbed up the pallet, was able to reach the first bar of the ladder, and then had to climb over a telephone wire without hitting it. And that was the scariest part ever, because the wire was literally buzzing. Zzz. And obviously, if you're someone with a brain, you know that if you touch that, you're going to die. All of a sudden, this whole mission became a lot more serious. And then I had to start thinking, is this really worth it? I'm looking at this wire like, damn, I could die from this. And if I die from this, nobody's really gonna care. This is one of those deaths where it's like, well, you shouldn't have done it, brother. How did he die, man? Oh, he was climbing up a billboard and got electrocuted by a wire. You shouldn't have been climbing up a billboard, you idiot. So that was going through my head while I was doing it. I was like, damn, this is not the legacy I wanted. Especially if I was dying on the way up. Now, if I was dying on the way down, that could be a little more like cool, but that's not what I wanted. Either way, I basically had to climb very, very carefully up this thing and climb over the wire, pull myself up, and I got to the top of the billboard. And I remember being up there just like, holy shit. As I was climbing over that last step, there was these huge bright lights that were shining against the billboard. And I was just like, holy shit, we're up here. We're fucking up here.
Yes, sir.
From there, we just had to get to work. We ran right across to the other side, went in between the 2 billboards, got up to the top, tied our banner to the top of the billboard, flipped it over, and bingo! So I know you might think that because I did it, I put my banner over there, I did what I wanted to do, I was done. No sir, we were not done. So from there, I decided, how can I capitalize this in the best way possible? And you know, of course, Supreme is famous for their box logo tee. This, in my opinion, was probably the biggest box logo in the world ever made. A 30 to 40 foot box logo. And I figured, why don't I make a box logo tee out of this? So I went on Photoshop, took the photos of my banner over the box logo, and I cropped it down, put it on a t-shirt, and I made my own box logo tee. And yes, it's a knockoff. It is not a Supreme denied approval collab. I'm fully aware of that. Hopefully one day that'll happen. You never know. But to me, it was just a cool way to kind of make a cool knockoff. If I'm being honest, a denied approval Supreme collab might never happen. So why not just do what I want to do now? And I think that's the coolest way to do it. I physically made a collaboration. I physically put my logo across the biggest box logo in the world for the biggest brand in the world, photoshopped it onto a tee, and made my own box logo. To me, that's fucking legendary. And I put it on the internet the next day. It went crazy. In about 3 hours, I sold over 100 t-shirts. And so I was like, you know what, this will be cool. So I put them at $28 and I printed it on a Gildan tee so people knew it was a fake knockoff. It's a denied approval shirt, kind of poking fun at Supreme. And it went crazy. Like I said, I sold over 100 shirts in 3 hours. It's funny, I made my entire rent money in 3 hours. I stressed the entire month about making my rent money back, and I made it in 3 hours. It was insane. It was probably the coolest thing I've done, the coolest video I've made so far, and I just want to share this experience with you guys. It was legendary. So I'm gonna put a link to the box logo tees if you guys want to grab one. Like I said, no, it's not a real Supreme t-shirt, but it's just something cool for the culture. It's something cool. If you fuck with these videos and you fuck with what we're trying to do at Denied Approval, definitely cop a tee. It means a lot, and it's kind of just like that vintage piece. Like 20 years from now, when we're like this humongous brand, you guys will remember like, oh shit, like that's the kid that did the Supreme Billboard thing. That's how he blew up. And it's just cool to have that, because I'm never gonna release this tee again. It's not something that like I'm gonna keep selling and selling. It's just this time period now. If you were here and you witnessed that, you got the tee. And it's also this this picture. I got it printed out big on my wall, so when I walk in my room, I can see it every day. It's me and my homie on the billboard running across after we put it up, and it was just sick. So thank you guys for watching this, and definitely check out some of my other videos. I have a bunch of sneaking in videos. I have a studio vlog with ASAP Rocky, Lil Yachty, T Grizzly, you name it. I have all types of cool shit. Karaoke from Denied Approval is out.